A gorgeous southern afternoon. EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Atlanta, Georgia, and inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Today, our new season begins with an NFC South matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. Here's Will Lutz ready to get this one started. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now Carter to start the drive. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On play action, they'll throw. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. Ritter on target to Pitts for a Falcon first down. And there you go, Charles, the first completed pass of his young career.
And we expect it not to be his last. Very good to get the first one out of the way, though, as he begins his career.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. By that time, it looked like he essentially just ran right into the pass rush.
Yeah, partner, I'm not much of an outdoorsman, but the fish jumped right into the net, didn't he? Because you got to make sure that you're deep enough that you can get around the defensive end, have an angle there. But he couldn't do it because he actually cut that one off. Really nice play coming off the edge.
He's going to air one out, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Now a man who did his collegiate punting just a couple hours from here in Clemson in South Carolina, Bradley Pinion to kick. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their 38. They begin on the ground with Kamara. Room here to run. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run. And let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Again, it's Kamara. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what the offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
On 3rd down, Winston. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 18. A nice pickup of 23 on the third down conversion.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
Yeah, 1 for 1, a lot more to go. But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
On second down, Kamara. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call run fits, everyone was in the right.
And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Saints are on the board here first in the season opener. Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
And not much doing. He'll get this only up to about the 36.
Now, they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
Second and 9 now. That's to the speedster Olamide Zaccheaus. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 45-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
That's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
On first and 10, it's Carter. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a second and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Still 9 remaining on second down. Back to throw. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
The first down line at the 34 here on third down. Now back to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. After 7-0 on EA Sports. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They were successful last time finding the end zone on their opening drive of the season. And they'll get another shot here with a 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 58 yards rushing for him in this first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Another big play as they get 28 out of that one.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Jameis to throw it. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down. Winston to give. It's Kamara. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
When coaches stress their defense being physical, they don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. They go play action. Winston. He's got a man. Complete. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 13-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone. So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Winston. And he's got him. Touchdown, Saints. Jarvis Landry from 13 yards out. And the Saints go 98 yards and finish it off in the end zone. Lutz with the extra point. And it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Back to throw here. And this one is incomplete.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll set up to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
On 2nd and 12, Winston. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
They kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep with the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Winston now from the 50. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 36. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. Play action now. Winston. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down as
set him back on second.
After the sack on first down, Winston going deep here for Landry.
This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 36 yards on the play.
How about the first half he's putting together? Well over 100 yards already with that last catch. And to me, they'd be well served to keep looking his way. A number of big plays already in this one.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
On 2nd and 11 now. Winston eluding the pressure right. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jameis Winston taking it in from 11 yards out.
And the Saints are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And it is now 21-0.
Makes the score Saints 21, Falcons nothing. Will Lutz to kick off 41.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
Another completion there, and what a big moment in a young quarterback's life, that first NFL start. And Charles, obviously they want him to win games, but if they're looking at him under a microscope in this first month or so, what do you think they're hoping to see from him?
Well, for every question they'll have for him, they should have for themselves as a coaching staff, because it's not just how quickly can he learn the offense, it's what they can teach him, right? How can he build a relationship with his receivers? And, of course, how open is he to learning? And, of course, how open are they to giving him things that he can put in place on the field?
They'll look to throw now on first down. He sets to fire deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
A very limited time left to get into field goal range before the half, and they tried to get it all on one throw right there.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. They'll throw now on the final play. He's got a man, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
It's a new season, so both of these coaching staffs likely making plenty of adjustments after their first half of football. So for the call of the second half here in week 1, we go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Saints take over first down 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
Kamara gets it again on second down. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Kamara. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9. They'll try to throw now. Winston. He's going to go for a big play downfield. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. Chris Olave. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. Lutz good on the extra point. And it is 28-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
The Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one. Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. That's caught inside the 20. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. It's a gain of 34.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby.
And the Saints will take over here just shy of the 30.
When the rookie QB gets his first touchdown pass, that's one you put in the trophy case. First career interception, that's going to be one he wants to forget.
Yeah, and he's not going to go ask for the football, right? You can keep that one. The key for him, what does he learn from it? When he watches the tape, does he have an answer right now where he already understands what mistake he made? That's what the coaches are going to want to know, and that's what they'll grill him on and see how he grows from it.
102 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the season opener.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
They run it again with Kamara.
Brought down at the 20.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And pretty good running as he'll be close to a first down at the Falcons' 15-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Winston now. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Marlon Davidson
in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation, because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Washington, 3rd and goal. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it makes things a little more interesting now on 4th and goal. Now Will Lutz, who went to college a stone's throw from here at Georgia State, comes on for the field goal attempt. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. The kick by Lutz is good. And that will finish off this 3rd quarter of play. And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Lutz now to kick this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Okay, right.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week one because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. So these fans just kind of beside them.
And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
They have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On second down, Washington. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On third down, here's Kamara. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first.
141 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Right back to Washington. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves them with a 3rd down and 8. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd.
And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Ritter and the Falcons need an answer and a big play here on 3rd and long following the sack.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. This offense so far on third down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and a mile. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
Well, this is intercepted. They get Ritter for the 3rd time.
It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a run up the middle with Washington. And a short gain down to about the 33.
Arnold Ebiketie gets there for the stop.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. Really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9.
Staying on the ground with Washington. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
On 3rd down, here's Washington. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So they got the turnover started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one. We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. They'll drop to throw. He's going to take another shot here. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw here. He's going to try and go deep again. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. They'll look to throw here on first down. He's going to let it fly.
And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their fourth pick of the game. Instead, second down.
Too many zeros on the stat sheet thus far. No touchdown passes, no points for his team, but he remains undaunted. Still attempting to get his team on the scoreboard, firing the ball downfield.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
Coaches must really like to see that from the quarterback because he's had the interceptions in this game, but they're able to connect on the touchdown pass.
And teammates love to see that because they know that they miss blocks during a game, but they come back and make them later on. They miss tackles, right? They miss making plays. But the spotlight is magnified on your quarterback. And when he stands up to the pressure and comes back and throws a touchdown pass after throwing some picks earlier, they feel great about that guy.
And likewise for him personally, as a rookie quarterback, has to give him more confidence.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Winston here to throw. To the right side and complete to Washington. He's got room at the 30. And some space here. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? Now, hold on a second. Why would they decline that? Charles?
I don't have a good answer for you, but let's work the math here a little bit. If you take the penalty, you get 5 yards. Minimum.
You're in the positive in the yardage, and you get to rerun the down you just had.
I like that. I like that little extra on top of the whole thing. This makes 0 sense.
And just how they envision the start of the season, kneeling it down, defense can't stop the clock. This one's a winner.
You know, it's really strange. I think a lot of people think that the kneel-down practice stuff really only happens like one time a week. The best teams I know, they practice starting back in OTAs. They want them to visualize winning a game and how great that feels, and they got it done in this one.
Yep.